I am recording your guys' voices, and
Press.
can't do anything about it. Um,
I did not consent.
I'll consent for you. I'll consent for you.
That's
That would
rude.
work.
Oh, what am I touching? I'm touching things. Okay.
Um, I want to put up a little thing so at least it seems a little okay. Let's put that done. There you go. This way. This way, Grim has something to look at. Okay, cool. Um, can you guys test your mic?
Hello.
Okay.
Hello.
All right. Super awesome. Super awesome. Turn Kanku's bitch ass down.
I can't even hear the Kenku.
Yeah, I can hear it very, really softly in the background, but
Yeah, you
just
guys
only
should.
sometimes.
Yeah, you guys should turn up Kanku's volume on Discord.
Says they're deafened. How do I undeafen people? What the heck?
I think they're supposed to be deafened because it's
You
not gonna.
can hear us?
It's deafened. This thing doesn't hear us. It only speaks.
Oh. Got it. I thought I had turned it off on accident. I thought this was like a, you know.
That's a muted.
Yo,
You
yo, oh my
fool.
god.
Hey, what's up?
I was fucking muted on my mic and I couldn't figure out why I couldn't talk.
For show. We are recording. I don't know if you heard me. We're recording, so Grim can hear at least what's going on. Let's see here. Who wants to do a recap?
Me,
Who
me,
wants to
me.
do a recap?
I
Me,
want
me,
to.
me, me,
Me,
me, me.
me,
Okay.
me. I want that inspiration.
She's a fiend. All right, cool.
Inspiration fiend. Okay. We started off back at the Temple of the Morning Lord or whatever, Church of the Morning Lord. And we had to we had just gotten the letter to meet the bitch we're at right now. But I convinced everyone to go to the Burger Masters with me first. Yay! So we went over there. I schmoozed him. I got the friendliness of one of his dogs named Fang, but he immediately was rude to the dog, dickhead. And he charged me 500 gold, which we found out later. Normally he charges 250. He charged me, that bitch. But we were able to get in to the library and check out the books. We also met the burgomaster's son, implied adoptive son, um, Victor. And he had the book that we were originally told to look for, that had the symbols of the ring on it. But he was keeping that pretty close to the chest, so we weren't able to get a look at it. And he kind of hinted that he doesn't really get along with his adoptive father, and that it sounded like to me anyways that he just kind of got to marry the mother because he could marry whoever he wanted, because he's a burgomaster, and if she said no, he probably would have killed her, I'm assuming. But so then we hung out in the library for a bit. We did get some books, but I actually didn't write notes on that information, so I'm not sure. We looked at some pre-Barovia books, pre-Velaki books, or pre-Barovia, I don't know, before it was established. Really old books, but I didn't get that information down. And then I summoned my familiar that's an ermine, and explored. Ramoth also had a conversation with, I think, the son and the mom in the hallway. I don't remember the mom's name. Um, but then I went sneaking around, and they were getting ready for um Rahadin's visit. So the Mrs. Burgomaster Baroness, he was telling the servants that they had to put on a good show and stuff. and just kind of explored. We found the son of that one lady, like tortured and chained up in a room. We also found out that Isaac lives inside the house and's got like 1,000 dolls. Terrifying. And that Victor doesn't like to hang out in his room. His room is like dusty. He's never in there. He prefers to hang out in the attic. So after running around, we eventually went up to, or Elfana went up to the attic, kind of creeped in there. He was talking to a girl that is the daughter of this lady. I forgot to write down any of the names. I don't remember her name. But at least has the same name, we're assuming is the daughter, who supposedly is really sick. But he seems to be talking or interested in bringing spirits back to life. And when Kalatari told him she was a druid and she brings animal spirits back to life, he got disappointed, which we kind of found out later was because he already knows how to do that. He's already brought a cat back to like a zombie cat, skeleton cat. But we never got to look out. But Elfana didn't get a look at who he was talking to and snuck back out of there before that. But he's a wizard, could be a potential ally. And then after we finished up there, our time ran out, so we backed out and then walked on over here. And it seems like they were semi-expecting us even though we were early. And I think we got invited in. There were some crows that seemed to be lingering around. And then this lady walked in. And that's where we ended.
For sure. Only note is that Ramoth was talking to... Ramoth was overhearing a conversation between the Baroness and Tereska, their cook slash servant. Not the son. But that was it.
Oh, yeah, and I overheard the conversation between the Baron saying he was gonna, like, I don't know, destroy the attic, block it from ever, I don't know, something. He's gonna get rid of the attic because he's sick of Victor going up there because he's a douche.
I think he was gonna block it off.
All right, cool. Take your inspiration.
Yay.
If you
So
must.
I got a sitting stone to talk to RVR. Rudolph Van Richten.
Oh, yeah,
Oh
yeah.
yeah, that was from a while ago.
Mikhail
Yeah.
turned Irina into Marigold.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yes. She's Marigold. I forgot that happened last time. For some reason, I thought that happened the time before.
All right. Very cool. Very cool. All right. So, let me get this shadowed in. I be playing other games when y'all not here.
There.
Have to update
To
that.
just be D&D all the time.
Except
No.
for now I can't minimize this player's screen.
What player screen?
On Owlbear. There's like who's in the Owlbear, but I used to be able to minimize that, now I can't. Oh, there it
Oh,
goes.
maybe refresh or something.
Yeah, I refreshed it. It wasn't like before.
All right.
I didn't even know you could minimize that. I just have it open all the time.
All right. You guys are sitting here in the parlor. You're sitting in 3 elegant couches that surround this oval table made of black glass. All are set in front of a blazing hearth, and you see a portrait of a smoking nobleman sporting a broken nose and a tangle of hair graying at the temples. You see several smaller portraits of people in different fashions hanging behind Mikhail. Can you guys give me a history check?
Yay! History.
Love history.
Oh, that was terrible. I definitely don't know anything. Yep, I got a 2. Yay!
All right. And it's okay. Kalatari is never much for the arts.
True.
Ramoth was a man of battle.
I have a +0 to my history, and I rolled a 4.
Awesome. And Mikhail.
Dirty 20.
Mikhail
Makes sense.
has seen beautiful wonders in terms of art, of course, probably within your church, Mikhail. So you can tell that here that these pieces of art they must be expensive, even for Barovian, right? For Barovian money. See, this is all well appointed, actually. In front of you, all stands Lady Wachter. As she introduces herself, you see she is dressed just as fine as the couches you sit in and the paintings you see. She is well off. In fact, this whole house is clean. Lady Wachter looks at you all and says, "Welcome to my home. Unfortunately, I wasn't ready for you all so early. But just so happens I need to finish this quick meeting, and we can talk. Halleck," and you see he walks in, a gentleman,
Do they
and
have tokens on the screen? Because I can't see them if they are there.
oh yeah, do you
I
not see
see
them?
him. I see
Only
him
when you
now.
touch him.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
only when you move him around. I don't
Well,
know why.
Can you refresh?
Yeah.
Again?
Yeah, they're invisible for me too, unless like they're moved.
This one right here?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And
when
then-
you're
How only shows when you sling it around.
What?
Yeah, when you move them, they become visible for a second and then they disappear.
spooky.
It's so
Ghosts.
weird. Let me refresh. Okay, cool. And then now they disappeared. So that must have been the problem.
They were never there. Hey!
Hey.
I can see her.
All right, cool. Now I gotta put people that you can't see. All right, there we go. Hit that one. All right. Where are you? Where are you?
Because there's
Alright.
people we can't see.
Huh?
Just, now we have that piece of information. There's people we can't see.
Oh no. Of course there's cooks and stuff like that, guys. Get real.
I know, I'm just kidding.
Get
What do you mean, Lady
so
Walker's not the
real.
only person in this house? Crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, I wasn't seeing Lady walk there at first either.
Wow. You see Halleck step out and he says, "Yes, ma'am. Have you offered our guest some drinks yet?" Well, it just had to hit lunch. Halleck, offer our guest drinks. I'm sure not all imbibe themselves in just wine. What would you all like to drink?
I'm fine with water.
Okay, you see Halleck writes that down. Water
Or tea if you have any nice teas.
or tea.
I'll take the same.
Okay,
I'll have a tea myself.
very well. And Marigold says, I'll have a little bit of wine." And Halleck says, "Wine, yes." Lady Wachter will say, "Brandy." And Halleck says, "Yes, ma'am." She says, "Can you give it about 10 minutes or so? I'll need to finish this meeting." And Halleck says, "Yes." And Halleck will step out. As you do, Lady Walker says, "Of course, you already overheard. I just need to wrap a quick minute. If you all don't mind just waiting here for a moment, please make yourself comfortable." And she will step away. And does anybody want to do anything here?
I mean, just roleplay wise, like not actually
Mhm.
doing anything. But I think Calatar doesn't normally care that she's dirty, but this place is so fancy. Just like she doesn't have prestidigitation or anything, but I think she's actually like trying to clean herself off a little bit. Like not look quite as dirty.
Mm-hmm. Marigold's like,
Yeah,
I've never been in a place so nice.
I'd be this fire's lit right here. This fireplace.
Mm-hmm.
I'd probably just be like staring into the fire, just kind of thinking about what Von Richten told me about her.
Mm-hmm. You see the flames flickering. In a way, you almost see when the flame kind of separates, from the main flame a bit just before it, pops. Almost like moments of your memory, of your dream from the multiverse cell in which the town was covered in fire. And you think of the dead bodies there that carried with it. And finally, all your friends that you saw slain in that dream, or now that you come to think of it, a premonition. And you finally come back. Mikhail?
yeah, Mikhail I think just kind of like noticing like the paintings earlier. Yeah, I think he's just kind of like when you're just kind of like bored, like kind of like just like waiting, like you really gotta like just like waiting for like someone to come through. He's just kind of like studying the painting, seeing if he can not like or if there's like any like labels or like any identifying or just general just like admiring the artwork.
Awesome. As you sit there, all of you feel a presence nearby. Where does everybody look?
I would probably look to the pointer. I'd be like looking probably this way because Halleck went this way, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'd probably be looking over my shoulder that way.
Yeah, I'd probably be looking towards the hallway as well.
I would look this way, like to where I could see out the window and like where the dining table is.
Awesome. Awesome. Kaladar, you see just outside the window a raven kind of sitting just at the window. As you look, the raven almost looks back at you for a moment and begins to fly off. And Mikhail and Ramoth, you see standing at the entryway a brown-haired teen girl by the looks of it, and you see that she is just standing there, not even looking right at you all, but straight ahead towards the window as well. You see she
Aw,
has a necklace on, and can everyone give me a perception check?
Yay, 17.
Hey.
13.
Cool.
Oh, that's still pretty good. 19. Could
Awesome.
have good perception.
13 and above, you see that she is dead-eyed and standing in what looks like a gown, as though she just came out of bed. Rushing right after her, you hear footsteps sound like they come from upstairs as she takes one simple step forward and arms reach out to grab her, and you see that it is Nikolai, one of the brothers that you met at the Blue Water Inn. You see him run up and put his arms at her shoulders, and he says, Stella, how did you get here? And he looks at you all and says, oh, I'm so sorry. Didn't mean to disturb you all. And you see he's like looking out for somebody else amongst you all and says, what are you all doing here?
You were sent an invite by your mother to meet, so we decided to come a little bit early because originally we were supposed to meet the night of the festival, but seeing how that was postponed, just wanted to just say hello and just show our faces before for the dinner.
Oh, well, then I'm sorry. I'll, Stella, come with me. I'll get her out of your hair. Sorry about that.
Oh, she was no bother at all. I haven't seen her around.
Oh, I mean, yeah, and you hear another door open. And you hear, Nikolai, what is your sister doing out? Mom, I don't know. I think she wandered down the stairs. And if she fell, Nikolai? No, Mom, I actually just got home. And she says, you should have been home. Today is your day, okay? Allow Carl to have fun on his own terms, and you on your days. Now get your sister, and she seems restless. Can you guys make can you guys make an insight check?
Yeah. Ooh. Mine's gonna be good.
Can we ever do anything that I have? I got a natural 20.
You got a
22.
You said you got a nat 20, Ramon?
Yeah. Plus I have you say inside, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I
Yep.
did 22 overall, but
Yeah, I got 22. Not a nat 20, but 22.
Only a 9 here.
Awesome. You guys see her face almost softens. Those who got 20s, you see her face just softens whenever she talks about the daughter, right?
this was Mrs. Wachter, right?
Yes, this is Lady Wachter. And as she does, and she'll scold Nikolai in between, always when she looks over at Stella, you'll see just kind of her features soften. She seems like a lady who can get really mean really easily. Um, but Stella obviously holds a very big part in her heart. She'll say, take her for a walk around the gardens, Nikolai, and make sure that, she's warmly dressed. It's a brisk day, and it will be a brisk evening. I believe it started to rain a bit, so make sure you grab one of the umbrellas as well. Yes, Mom. And see to it that she does not trip either. And Nikolai kind of mutters to himself as he's leaving. He says, she never trips, Mom. And soon he leads the vacant-eyed Stella out. You'll see Halleck comes through the door holding the drinks, and he says, hello, ma'am. 10 minutes, just as you said. And she goes, thank you, Halleck. Please. And she'll walk over, and she'll go over and sit on the couch right next to Mikhail. Halleck will place all your drinks there in front of you all in your respective areas and say, anything else? And she says, no. Could you prepare a small, let's say, a small lunch for us? Do you all have plans later for dinner?
No. I'm sorry.
Not currently.
Okay, well then make it a regular lunch, Halleck. And he says, right away. And he'll take off. Well, thank you all for coming, and Sorry for the intrusion.
Oh no, it's quite all right. We arrived quite a bit early, so it's completely understandable that weren't prepared for our visit. But thank you so much for taking the time to meet with us on such a short notice.
And to you. She'll grab her brandy and um, bring it back to herself, kind of cross her legs, and say, "So, um, you'll forgive me. I only know, or I've only heard of Elthana. I haven't met you all. Um, my name is Fiona Wachter. This is my residence, and I've been in Valaki for some years. What about you all? What are your names? What do you do?"
I
And she'll
know
drink.
Athana would want to ask why she knows her name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. She'll say, "Oh, right. Well, I have several colleagues that, you know the comings and goings of new people in town, and I think he may have met you briefly for a moment at the gates when you arrived. As a businesswoman, I make sure that I understand what clientele we have in town, and unfortunately, or rather, fortunately, your name um, came across my list.
Okay.
But to you all, what about you all? What do you do? Even you, Elthana. But we'll just be talking to you guys now.
Well, I'm Kalatari. I'm a druid.
Oh, druid. Interesting.
I specialize in the spiritual aspect of nature.
Wow, that's quite rare to hear. And
I'm Moth. I'm mostly here to help these people get through the lands.
I see. And I see your club there. Interesting choice in weaponry. I assume you don't dabble in um, magic.
No, I just use my weapons and my fists.
Are you a man of combat or a man of something else?
In another life, I was, but
Well,
I'm forced to fight here sometimes, but I can't do that. I need to be out of the wars. I can't see that kind of death anymore.
I see. A reformed man. You are at least well prepared to help your friends here in Barovia, as though it is not a traditional war, it is a war in another sense, wading through the mists and the forests. And you, and she'll look at Mikhail.
Hello, I am Mikhail Karas. I am a cleric of Tyr from Neverwinter originally.
Ah, cleric of Tyr. Tell me, I have not heard of Tyr. What do they? What is the Church of Tyr all about?
So, as clerics and other like warriors of Tyr, our jobs are to uphold justice and combat injustice wherever we see it.
How fitting. And she'll return to her drink and set it down. Now, I'm sure you all must have some sort of question as to why I invited you here. Or perhaps you have another question.
That was definitely one of the main questions.
Sorry, I missed that. What did she ask us? If we were gonna ask why she invited us here?
Yeah. She said, I'm sure you're wondering why I invited you here, or maybe you had another question that was more
Okay,
pressing.
yeah.
I was also not more pressing, but it goes along with it. Is I was wondering, knowing the rules of attending the what are they called? The like the celebrations, but what are they called?
The festivals.
Festivals?
The
The
festival?
festivals. Yeah. Knowing the rules of the festivals, you would invite us here, forcing us to miss it. Do you? And just curious if she really has that much power.
Hmm. Well, not to talk too much shop, but the Baron wasn't aware that a visit was going to be taking place, though I was privy to that knowledge. And so I saw fit to make arrangements as soon as I saw the day opened up.
So it was no coincidence that you chose that day.
I guess not, but us meeting is a coincidence. Tell me, now that you all have been in Vallaki and you understand the customs, such as the festivals, and have spent some nights here, what do you think of Vallaki, given the time you've spent in it so far?
I think it feels a more pleasant town than most of what we've seen in this area.
She's like waiting for other answers.
Uh, Caladar's just gonna have like a weak smile and be like, it can be irritating at times.
I find the forced nature of the festivals and festivities to be quite. I think Mikhail just like kind of takes like a sip of like from tea from his cup. Interesting.
Hmm. And the policies, much like the. To speak on those, Mikhail, you bring up good point. The policies and the culture. Here, how does it compare with your homelands?
I personally would have little to compare it to. I lived mostly in nature. And in nature, you were free to do what you wish.
Yeah. I mean, it is hard to compare to the metropolis that is Neverwinter. It's a bustling trade city and a city of many wonders and opportunities. A chance they gave me the chance to become the cleric and upholder of justice that I try to be today, but it is quite different from where I grew up.
Hmm. No. I want to let you know that I invited you all today, not only to ask you these questions, which I appreciate your answers. Well, well thought. But in days like these, in the days to come, in such troubled times, it is always wise to find friends. You see, to the canny eye, friends can be found in unexpected places, and some walk right into your town and into your home, sipping water, tea, and wine. I, of course, am in need of friends, as you may know, and you may be aware. This town is currently um, owned, or rather, ran by Baron Valakovich. I trust you all have met him.
We have, but
Uh,
you seem you're able to not even go to festivals. You must have plenty of friends.
No, it comes with the name, sweetheart. A name that, over hundreds of years, has earned me some stay and choice of my own. Though the Baron's name does just the same, but it seemed as though his family was lucky enough to hold on to the title of this town for such a long time. Considered maybe professional or familial gesture, seeing as how we have been around for so long. And what do you all think of the Baron?
We have seen some cruelty from him already.
She'll wait for Kalatari and Mikhail.
yeah, they seem to favor a rather more brutal form of governance. Very rigid.
I didn't learn many lessons from my parents, but one that has stayed with me is if I don't have anything pleasant to say about someone, I'd prefer to hold my tongue.
Well put. Kalatari, give me a insight check on that.
19.
You can tell she's very pleased with what you said, as she gives a sort of bit of a smile before she sips on her brandy. You see, I am aware through my colleagues that keep tabs of the going-ons of this town, that a lady with a certain proclivity to magic may have embarrassed the Baron some days ago. And though it came
Because
to...
Jim's gonna look down and stare at you as she's saying
And she says, and though it came to maybe an unfortunate result, there was an intention there that I admire. You see, I'm understand that you all may have not the greatest relationship with the Baron and his rule. And lately I've been finding myself with grave doubts regarding his fitness to rule. What do you all think? Should a man as cruel as that be held in power?
I
No.
do not believe so. But do you propose that you would rule in his stead?
I only propose that someone with a greater intention for this town would rule. One who is not so cruel, but would understand reason. Alas, I am just a woman who in this town might not have the ear of most of the common folk other than just the Baron. He will hear me when I say I will not attend his festivals. But the Baron and I we know each other well. At least I know him well. And I'm tired of it, you see. You know, Baron Vargas, he's only been in power for about 11 years. His father, Baron Valentin Velikovich, passed away in his sleep, though his father was in near perfect health when he died in his sleep. I've harbored my suspicions, but no foul play ever came to light.
Mikhalis kind of chuckles, just kind of like darkly, just like, and why would it?
Right. You know, he runs a tight ship. As much as I don't admire how he rules, it is strong. You know, he instills this strength with punishing those who are unhappy with not only their lives, but even his rule. So he preaches all will be well from wherever he can, atop the tallest horses he can sit upon. But it feels good to knock him down, doesn't it? And she'll look at Kalatari.
Galata's just gonna like grin. And she goes, it was it did bring me joy to watch him fall. But I must ask, what do you know of his bodyguard, Isaac? That seems to be his muscle.
Interesting. My next point. You see, I know that Isaac was orphaned as a young boy. Approximately around the age of 10, he lost his younger sister and his arm in a wolf attack. Both of his parents were lost not long thereafter, though his sister's body was never found. This young boy was often mocked for his disability, but several of his tormentors around the town went missing, and laughter abruptly stopped. No bodies were found, and poor Isaac, rumors persisted that maybe he, being a large and frequently violent child, maybe murdered them himself. That's when the Baron came in. Isaac was arrested by the town guard and brought to the Velikovich mansion. No one knows what crime he had committed or why he was released soon thereafter, but at that time, Vargas was only 25 years old. Sorry, the Baron. He seemed to have all but adopted Isaac and took him into their home. Isaac has Isaac had faithfully served the next 5 years after that, but around the time that he was 16, he somehow obtained a ghastly arm to replace the one he had lost. Though this limb, I'm sure you have seen, resembles a devil's more than any human's. She drinks, and the curious case of it all is it seemed as though he had grown this arm, if you would call it that, overnight. But what night? The night that the poor Baron Valentine died in his sleep. Now this
Is
fiendish arm...
there? Oh,
I
sorry.
was going to say, now this fiendish arm allows him to wield a proper weapon, and he does so very well. He causes havoc around the town, which I'm sure you have seen. If you would not listen to the Baron, then you would listen to Isaac, and I see that might be how their relationship is so synergistic. Now Isaac is the Baron's personal enforcer and the highest ranking member of the Valaki Town Guard. Though, as the highest ranking member, he commits acts of wanton battery, arson, extortion, both at the Baron's command and to serve his own diabolical whims, it seems. Many of the townsfolk hate and fear Isaac. This sentiment has slowly spread to Vargas, and since Strahd's revival or awakening, Vargas has implemented his festivals in a very cruel manner, as he believes happiness and the erasure of malicious unhappiness would rid us of Strahd. Though you must know that that sort of magic just doesn't exist, whether you're a cleric or a druid. I know you can see.
You told us the story of Isaac. Do you know, as you seem to know everything that goes on in this town, what his deal is with all the dolls that all look the same?
The dolls. Well, I only have a suspicion, but I'd rather not say, considering it must be a personal matter of his.
Well, as you seem to want the current burgomaster out of power, wouldn't it be helpful to know how to take out his number one enforcer? Or to know more about our enemy? If that's what he
Right.
turns out to be.
Right. Well, there's already a plan. Already a weakness, although I would need a group of people to execute such a plan. Something that, should we have a common enemy, both with the Baron and Isaac, might seem very lucrative to us all.
How do you feel about the burgomaster's son, Victor?
I have not seen that boy. In fact, my colleagues have not seen that boy so much, though it would be a stretch to call him his son as much as his, you know, stepson, rather. The boy, at least in his youth, when he used to run around and play amongst the rabble, was a nice boy. I could tell a good heart when I see one. In fact, he used to play with my daughter. Many, many moons ago, before the Baron decided he wanted to wed one of the more beautiful women in town, Lydia, a nice woman. I think Victor is a nice boy, but you shouldn't be worried about our plan. I don't think Victor will mind it so much after his upbringing and all.
Now, the Baron, well, we know he's a known quality, his rulership of this town. But what are your plans for it? What does your cohort have to offer?
Well, should the town be ruled by me, I would rule it with reason. I would make sure that we accept people from other towns who may have been decimated or attacked. I would allow Vistani to trade with us. I would allow for festivities that you would want to be happy at, rather than forced. But I cannot do so with Isaac in the picture, and I cannot do so with the Baron.
If Strahd truly rules this land anyways, how could anybody else be any less cruel, really?
She looks at you and she says, well, Strahd is the realm's ruler, after all. You see, even hundreds of years ago, this town was around, even before his long slumber. And at least through the journals and the writings of my family before mine, and even the Baron before his, Strahd is a devil, you know. A man of reason.
Have you ever met him?
Not personally, no.
We have.
And yet you stand here, or rather sit here before us. Do you assume him a man of reason?
Well, we have heard of his powers. We did not feel reason to. What's the word I'm looking for? Poke the bear, you know?
Provoke him.
Yeah,
Right.
provoke.
Exactly. Well, you see, the Baron does not mind provoking Strahd, and I fear that this festival he's bringing about may do so, just at the right time.
What do you mean the right time?
Well, I'm sure you have seen a lot more travels of bats in the area.
We have.
Some say Strahd is among the bats. Some say his spies are among the bats, and should his spies see something so negatively charged against their master, then they would attack.
Can I don't want to insight check to see if she's lying. I want to see if I can insight check to see if she's really just like some say or if she knows. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? Is she getting off the vibe that she's just telling us some people are telling her, or if she actually
She lets more that she's
knows?
letting
Yeah.
on. Yeah.
Does some say that Strahd's among the spies, or
Yeah, like if she actually like if she's giving off the vibe that she actually knows more.
Hmm.
She's just
Yeah.
like, you
Okay,
know.
yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, well that's not good. That's 13.
Okay. It seems like she's telling you just about information.
Okay.
She's been speaking in this tone this whole time, you know, not exacts, but usually what she has heard and stuff like that. Seems pretty obvious that she's heard of things that you guys have done and is speaking to you in that same tone.
Well, assuredly, if Strahd is so powerful, I couldn't imagine how a bonfire would provoke him so greatly.
Mm-hmm. I see. Well. Have you heard of Berez? The city, the town.
That's my recollection.
I don't
I'm not
believe so.
familiar.
The village of Barovia, Valaki, Kresk. 3 lights of civilization. But there was once a fishing village named Berez that was the 4th. It was built on the banks of the Luna River, not far south of here. In its prime, it was a bustling and thriving place, full of life, hope, and laughter. And then one day, more than 300 years ago, the village's burgomaster defied the will of Strahd von Zarevich. The details are lost to time, but histories make clear that Perez thought of itself as able to challenge the devil's rule. Whether it was pride, desperation, or mere foolishness, I cannot say, but it was nonetheless a grave mistake. Zarevich did not argue. He did not negotiate. He simply commanded the river Luna to rise, and it obeyed. The waters swallowed Berez whole. No building was left standing, and few lives were spared. The survivors found themselves lost, adrift, and broken. Most found their way north, to Valaki, here where they struggled to forge new lives amongst the ruins of the old. To which I ask, what did defiance earn Berez? A marsh and some broken stone? A stark cold warning to anyone who would follow their path? As a child, I once heard of a sword that shone with the fury of the sun, a mighty weapon indeed, and one that would dawn a new age for Barovia in the dreams of a little girl. But a lady cannot waste time on fairy tales or fool's errands. She must take the world as it is, not the way as she wishes it to be. We live under Zarevich's rule, not the Baron. the Baron only owns a piece of land, or believes he does. You see, I believe that survival requires pragmatism. 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 A lord at peace can be reasoned with, even ignored, with sufficient assurances paid. But a vengeful lord cannot be put aside so easily. Defiance leads to nothing but destruction. This festival is one of the Baron's largest yet. Perez learned this the hard way, and it is our duty and our obligation to both our ancestors and to our children, whether they lay waiting in the future or not, to take that lesson to heart. Don't you agree?
That is something that should probably try to be avoided at all costs.
Above the table, we never got a confirmation on the multiverse cell, right? Getting destroyed? Just that vision?
Yep, you guys left and haven't checked back on it.
Okay, cool. Because I want to ask her about it. Lady Wachter, you make a lot of sense, and you speak about the destructions of towns. When we first came in to Barovia, we were in a place called the Multiverse Cell. We have reasons to believe it may have been destroyed. With all your information, have you heard anything of this?
I have. Though I'm surprised you've dodged the devil twice. As much as it seems. The stories I've heard of the multiverse cell is that it was burned to a crisp. Many dead Vistani. A fire so great that one would think it would be Strahd that may have done it, but unfortunately, with all the limbs that were separated from the Vistani, I know it to be another man.
And who do you believe it to be?
His right hand, Rahadin. You see, Rahadin arrives to towns that may be acting a bit untoward. He hands out justice as he pleases, and he must have found something there that displeased him so.
We had heard rumors of them wanting to try to stop Strahd. Maybe Strahd also heard these rumors.
Maybe that. Though you have managed your way away from death, both in leaving the multiverse cell and traveling all the way here. You seem all like you are fit, capable, both in mind and body. So I ask, are you willing to save this town?
I personally try to save anybody that needs help. Or at least help them.
And she'll wait for Mikhail and Kalatari.
My sworn duty is to uphold justice wherever I see it needed, and these people seem like they're in need of justice.
Many of us feel this way, though some of us can't do something about it. Kalatari, how do you feel?
Um, I believe my purpose is to protect and shepherd the innocent, and I see the innocent not being protected here, so I am with my friends.
Then the Baron's rule must come to an end. However, so long as Isaac Strasny serves the Baron's household, any attempt to shift the town's political leadership would be met with violent brutality. Though Isaac is utterly faithful to the Baron, his life is the sole obstacle to make the change that Vallaki needs. Now, you all seem, as I said, capable and intelligent and good-hearted at that. Well-armed and well-trained, I'm certain. So I will call upon your group to help Vallaki in its hour of need. What I say next must not leave this parlor under any circumstance. Do you all promise?
We don't talk to too many people outside of our own circle here.
Great. Well, I have for you a task. I would like you to follow Isaac. Find a time when he is vulnerable, unaccompanied by guards that, unfortunately, most often seem to follow him. Once Isaac is dispatched, I would like you to dispose of the body, but bring his head to me. This will prove Isaac's removal, and I will make sure that the Baron receives it, as this will aid my efforts to encourage him to step down peacefully. Once you have completed this task, me and my associates will quietly and peacefully oversee the shift in power. Though you must have seen Isaac, you could see that he must be a formidable foe.
So how do you propose that we can take him down to get his head?
Isaac is rather known to be a heavy drinker. I have secured a bottle of poisoned wine that should dull his senses. Should you accept this assignment, I promise to have one of my associates deliver it to you. With that, my associate will put together some opportune times for you to deal with the poisoned wine and Isaac as you see fit. And I will leave the rest to you. Remember that Rahidin will visit tomorrow. I assume that he will arrive somewhere around noon. So I expect you all to get this done as soon as possible. as if the Baron is still in rule when Rahadin visits. I cannot be comfortable.
I'm
With the
assuming
lives that can be
Rahidin
lost.
knows. So I'm assuming Rahidin knows of this plan.
No, I don't have a line to Rahadin. He wouldn't speak with us. He would speak to whoever is in charge. And should that be the Baron or me, is up to you all.
I don't know if I can ask this above table. I meant to say something a little bit ago and I forgot.
Go ahead.
Is I don't have good notes on it. So
Mhm.
I know that there was also something dealing with the kids, and I've forgotten what it was. So I don't want to be the one to ask because I don't know what I'm asking. But I know that I do remember that there's something to do with Lady Walker's
Oh.
children.
Oh, Fiona walked with children. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know. Um,
Like the boys? We just know that the daughter is like sick. I was gonna see if I could ask her about that.
Well, there was
Um,
something like from like a session or two ago. It was like something about them being.
oh, they couldn't go to the festival. There was a note that they couldn't go to the festival because they had to watch her daughter. Is that what you're talking about? That was in the burgomaster's house.
Yeah.
I thought it was something before that, but maybe. Okay. Like I said, I don't have any notes on it, so I just felt like I remembered hearing something, and that was like one of the bigger reasons we were coming over was something about the kids to talk to them or something. But I don't know. It's fine.
The only thing I've heard about them is that, and then they were like shit talking the burgomaster the first night we came to town.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't remember anything else other than those two things.
Yeah, because I think also like we wanted to talk to the kids to see like if they knew like any dirt or anything or like any additional information they had on like the burgomaster Isaac. Since I think we just noticed that they seem to be able to shit talk the burgomaster pretty openly.
Yeah. It was like general, this family knows shit about them, so we were just coming to ask them about it. But we got lore drop from Miss Wachter. Um,
Well, I think we can all agree that any town is better off without a man like Isaac in it.
um, Lady Wachter, I'm so sorry. I just had a couple questions. What did you say? Did you happen to know Isaac's original family name?
as far as I knew, it was Strozny.
It's always been Strosny. Okay. Um,
Yes.
and then also, I'm so sorry to ask. This is personal, and I don't want to offend. So definitely tell me if I'm overstepping. But I am a healer, and I can't help but to notice that something um, seems to be amiss with your daughter. Is there anything I could do to help?
Thank you for offering. Unfortunately, my daughter suffers from a mysterious illness. One that has left her mind in a vegetative state for the past 2 months. Lady, I have tried every available means to cure her sickness, but none has succeeded. Her brother Nikolai, my eldest son, he is taking care of Stella along with his brother Carl. They can be mischievous and troublesome louts at times, but they have good hearts, if highly disorganized ones. But I do think they seek wild and thrill-seeking moments, and so they sneak out to the bar sometimes when they think I do not know. Open mouths when they shouldn't, but They take care of Stella, and they take care of her well.
What happened 2 months ago that would have put her in such a state?
I You see she's like kind of like she's not like keeping it together, and like you see that she's gonna cry, but you see her just think about the moment, almost like it's replaying in her head, and she says, 2 months ago the Baron had returned my daughter to me. It seems as though Stella was playing around with her old friend Victor, his stepson. The Baron promised me that he had nothing to do with it, that she just seemed to fall out of nowhere. It took some time, but recently she has been able to walk. Though I'm not sure how much of her is truly in there.
Ever ask Victor about it, or get the chance to talk to him to see if he, since they seemed like they were at least like closer friends in their youth.
You see, I've never been fond of the Velikoviches, whether it be a stepson or my political ideals. But my daughter wanted to pursue this entanglement with that family. She ignored my pleas. Now Victor has refused to speak to me at all. The Baron only refusing to discuss it in depth, suggesting that our family's exposure to the devil were to blame. I'm convinced that either the Velikoviches or even Isaac maybe have done something so terrible to Stella.
Lady Wachter, were we to help you, I feel it important that you extend kindness on Victor and his mother. From what I've discussed with them, it seems they are there under great duress and not of their own choice. I would hope that were we to help you, as it sounds like we may, that you would allow them to return to their life before they were forced into their current situation.
I see she thinks about it. And she says, for all I care, they get to keep their house that they stay in now. I don't wish to impart more sadness on Lydia, whatever there may be, or to Victor, though his cowardice to speak to me still bothers me. Seems as though you have met Victor then.
Briefly, but yes.
A curious boy, is he not?
He seems to have great potential from what I saw of him.
Well, when measured with Vargas, you could put any kid next to him, and it would seem great. It would seem like there is a potential for greatness. But yes, I'm sure that's what Stella saw in him. In any case, rest assured, their family will be taken care of. So, should you all accept, let's eat our lunch here, and I'll allow you guys to, or rather, I'll let you on with your day. Seems you may need to prepare.
We certainly have much discussed. Yes, your words have much to ponder over.
Right. And Halleck comes in and serves out the table and all that stuff. I assume you guys all sit to eat. I assume you do.
Yes. The plates are
Yeah.
fancy. They have roses.
Ooh.
Fancy plates.
Awesome. You guys eat an assortment of wonderful food, of butters and breads of different types. You start with that, and then you move on over to a small salad, and then you are invited for almost like a slice of like Barovian lasagna. And as you finish the meal with a bit of coffee cake, you guys feel nice and well and energized. You guys carb loaded.
While we're eating, I want to like pretend I'm making small talk and be like, I see that you have the attention of some ravens. Are you a bird lover yourself?
Oh, no. In fact, those scarecrows outside are not doing me any good. I might need to attempt to grow these thorn bushes up on the window sills. Though I'm sure you're a fan, I don't mean them any harm. I just have them around my house often. But as a druid, feel free to take them.
They didn't seem to have much interest in me, to tell you the truth.
Ravens, fickle creatures, really. Though one of Barovia's oldest hunters.
I was also noticing some portraits you had there back at the wall. They're very beautiful. Yeah, you don't see artwork like that often.
Why, thank you. I appreciate it. I made them myself.
Oh, so you're a painter.
Yes, I had a lot of practice, a lot of time on my hands being an indoor girl. At least for some time in my life. I've seen my parents had hung them up, so I've decided to let them lay.
Are the portraits of family members or just like family friends? Or what drew your inspiration for these portraits?
Mm, people around town. I would look out my window and see them stand for time and talk and gossip. Became a really good people watcher. And I think within that I began to paint pictures and imagine how they would stand and the way they carried themselves, what they did for work. And I became really good at it.
You have on these portraits, you have a very fine attention to detail.
That is true, Mikhail. Thank you for noticing. It flatters me. All right, you guys finish your dinner, and Lady Wachter lets you guys go. Anybody want to say anything before they go?
Above the table is Halleck someone we've already seen, or have you double used an avatar? Okay, like super
Awesome.
familiar.
No, that was
We've
cool that
already
you said
seen
that.
Yeah.
No, that was cool that you said that, actually. You noticing that, you see Halleck looks very familiar to Ernst. Do you say anything?
Wait, which one's Ernst?
Ernst
was
is
the one smoking a cigarette. Out.
smoking a cigarette.
They were two different guys? I thought...
No, they're...
Okay, my bad.
If you were to speak on Eremoth, Lady
Yeah,
Wachter would let you know.
I would ask if that's if that's the brother of the man that we met.
Ah, you definitely may have seen Ernst, his brother. They're twins, though Halleck is more of a house cat and Ernst an alley.
Well, thank you for the meal, and we'll let you know as soon as we can our decision.
Thank you. And she'll say, do you all still stay at the Blue Water Inn?
Well, it did have quite a.
You were.
Oh, you were misplaced. Well,
Seems at least for now we are.
well, if you all needed a place to rest your laurels for some time, I do have some guest rooms available.
That's very kind of you. We'll also let you know when we have a chance to talk about Isaac.
Yes.
Very well. Well, have a good day, and feel free to take one of these umbrellas with you so you don't get too wet.
Thank you.
Awesome. And she, you see that Halleck is waiting at the door, and he lets you all out. Awesome.
Now that we're outside, look at a crow that refused to talk to me, and I want to talk in one of its heads and be like, "Look, you may not like me, you may not want to talk to me, but there's a reason you're watching this woman's house, and I need to know what it is."
You see Raven look at you. And give me an insight check.
I need a high roll, please. Oh no, it's another 13.
The Raven looks at you. And you've always known ravens to be intelligent, right, Kalatari?
Yes.
Though never this intelligent. And you see the raven pick up its wings and fly.
I thought that was going the other way. I thought you were gonna be like this one, cross-eyed.
Real no.
Is it? Oh, is it a druid? Is it another druid? Or something shaped? Oh, it's super intelligent. Ah! I don't know how I could check that.
And you all leave the Wachterhaus, I assume.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Let's take a break. We'll be back at 7:41.
Okay.
Cool.
Hello.
Hey, so what's the deal with with Grim tonight? She just can't make it.
Yeah, she's just not here.
Okay, yeah, I hadn't heard that.
Where'd she go?
Who
Left
cares?
us forever. No, I'm just kidding.
Another one? God, you must
They're
really.
dropping like flies.
It's gotta be Calatari. It's gotta be her.
Yeah, it's
Me.
gotta be me, especially because of the thing I'm about to do.
I don't know what you're about to do. I don't know what we're about to do. I would like. I mean, I guess.
Oh, I'm about to do something that might annoy
Alright.
you guys, but I think I got it. Because I'm
Alright, I'm
sick of
back.
these gross.
You think you got it?
Look, back. I got to. I have
Okay.
to. I think it'll pay off, but if it doesn't pay off, it'll only waste an hour.
Okay. Where do you guys go? You're walking, it's raining a bit.
Okay,
Um,
hold on. Before we do anything else, the crow just took off, right?
yeah, the raven. Yeah.
Yeah, can I still see it?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna wild shape into a raven and follow it. And tell these guys before I do that I'll meet them at the church in an hour.
Okay, cool. Awesome. Hell yeah. Alright. So you wild shape into a raven. What happens to Omen?
Oh shit, Omen. I'll just leave him with them, I guess. Oh, actually, before I do this, let me double check I can fly now. Hold on. I can. Sorry, I can see it somewhere. Where's it? Oh, I can't. Never mind. Take it back. Can't fly, so I'm not gonna do that. Can't until 8th level.
She wild shapes
So,
into a raven, just
never
hits the
mind.
ground.
No, I'm not wild shaping. I can't fly. I would know that before I wild shape.
Alright. Okay.
Uh,
Wherever we're going, I do have questions for the group.
Gotcha.
I would assume we're just gonna meet back at the church, right?
Yeah, you guys walk back to the church.
Yeah.
Awesome. You are walking to the church, and you see that the signs, that there are signs up, um, nearby the signs that talk about the postponement of the festival, um, that also show a picture very similar to Irina's likeness, with a reward placed next to it. 5,000 gold pieces.
Is there a name on the poster?
If you were to look a name for the person,
Yes.
no, there is not a name. It would say information on a red-haired woman. Um, if found, will pay out 5,000 gold pieces.
Okay.
Does it say who the bounty is from? Is it from
Yeah,
the Coast Guard, or is it behalf of the Baron, or yeah, what does it say
it's on
exactly?
behalf of Isaac Strosny.
Okay.
You see, Irina looks and says, "Oh my God, it's getting worse, guys."
Have you ever met him, Isaac, before, or have you ever seen him before?
No, like I said, I've caught his gaze a couple of times. So, yeah, that's it.
Are we
And
in the church yet? Because I want to talk to
not
you about
yet.
this.
She's
but
just
not in the
she's just
church.
walking on the. Yeah, she's just walking
Okay.
outside. the streets. Okay. And you guys eventually get to the church. You guys get to the church. You guys go downstairs to your area.
Yeah.
Okay. You make it downstairs and you see that Van Richten is there with Arabelle. Um, she's laughing. It looks like he's telling her stories when you all come in. And he says, hello, all. How'd it go?
I'm fine. We just have some things to discuss. Um,
Hmm.
I, if no one minds, before we continue this conversation, Irina, could I speak with you alone?
Yeah, sure. Of course. And she just looks like a little bit like, oh, that's funny. And you guys will sit outside just the little bedroom, guest room area. So you're in just like this little alcove area.
Yeah, is there like a closet nearby or somewhere where we could have darkness?
Um, the little whatchamacallit is actually kind of dark. It's like a entryway before
It's dark.
the
Okay.
room. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna go to her and I say, Irina, I have reason to believe that with your adoption and your mysterious circumstances that you can't remember, Isaac might be your brother. But also, I believe that there's something in this bracelet that is trying to speak with you, and or show you something. And I want to let whatever use the bracelet for dancing lights and see whatever this humanoid figure that wants to come out let it do whatever it wants.
She tries to interrupt me. She says, my brother is Ismark. Calatari, are you okay?
You are adopted. You know this. He is not your biological brother.
Okay, well, don't say he's not my biological. It just sounds rude, okay? And what do you mean Isaac's my brother? And
You were adopted. You were found in the woods wandering.
okay, but that doesn't mean that I'm his brother or that I'm his sister. That he's my brother. I could be,
Well,
I could come from a single family. I could come from, you know, anywhere. I
how would
that
he know
that
for
man
years
is
what
not
you
my
look
brother.
like? How would he know for years what you look like?
What if he has an imagination, or what if that was a ex-wife of
An
his who got
imagination
away?
that catches you perfectly? It's not an ex-wife, Irina. It's you. It's
You
you.
see, you see, she gets angry and she says, "Show me whatever you want to show me."
I'll cast the dancing lights with the bracelet and let the woman figure come out.
Awesome. The figure finally takes shape of a woman, and as the lights settle, you see that it gets dark in some spots as to show a picture, and it's of a mother holding two children, one an older boy, just hugging at the side of her hips, and another holding a small baby that you can tell is a girl. And in a moment, you see Irina, her eyes well up and tears start to come down. And she says, "That's my mother. That's at least my other mother." And she starts to walk up to it, and you see the light as Irina's hands touch it. You see the light just separate and turn into just circles that float around. And Irina says, "You're right. I think I think Isaac's my brother. That boy, it looked just like him. At least a younger version of him."
And I'm sorry for speaking to you so bluntly, but with what we must decide to do next, I I thought it important that we find this out before we decide how to proceed.
Well, and you see it starts to trouble her, and she says, "Well, Isaac, he he's done terrible things, but he's at least somewhat of a brother, I guess."
Would you like us to try and help him, fix him, before we decide whether he's beyond hope?
If you could, Calatari, perhaps he could see some sort of reason. Maybe, maybe our paths are lost. We're so different, but maybe not so much to children lost both their parents, and maybe I just lucked out with my father finding me. Then Isaac had a stroke of bad luck with the Baron finding him.
Do you feel strong enough that you would like to speak with him?
I I don't know. I've been so certain about at least wanting to stop the Baron or stopping Isaac. But after hearing this, I can't help but I can't help but doubt myself once more.
Well, I will let you ponder, and I will let this be your information to tell the others should you wish. Um, but let's rejoin them while you think. And I'm gonna give her a
Calat-
hug.
Calatari, do you think that she gives you a hug back? She says, "Do you think I could? I know it's petty to ask for a gift back, but do you think I could hold on to that bracelet for a while?"
Of course. It was always yours, and I'll hand it back to her.
And she said, "I'll just take some time out here if you don't mind."
Take all the time you need.
Awesome. And you go back into the sort of living quarters. Bunch of people sitting on beds and stuff like that. Ramoth and Mikhail, you're there. Um, is there anything you do while Kalatari was outside with Irina?
Uh, no, I'd just be waiting, basically. Maybe looking at my weapons, but uh, just the only thing I have on my mind
Music.
is to talk about whenever we're all together.
Okay, right on.
Kind of like by himself a little bit, like maybe just kind of just like praying for guidance on what to do because while on one hand he knows and agrees that the Baron and Isaac are monsters that are enacting cruelty on the people of Valaki, on the other hand, the poisoning and things of that nature are not really his speed or like not like weapons that he really utilizes. So he's just kind of just like going back and forth in his head, like just like kind of praying for guidance on like how to like what is justice in this situation.
Very cool. Very, very cool. Kalatar, you walk back in. Seems like Ramoth was expecting you back.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just had something I wanted to speak to her. She'll be rejoining us shortly.
No worries. Was she picking up about the poster earlier?
Um, she's. I think she's just contemplating, much like us, what the right path is.
Yes, it's definitely a heavy topic.
Is Arabelle in here with us?
Yeah, Arabelle's there. You'll see that she's still just like listening to Van Richten. He's looked like he was in the middle of a story while he was talking, or when you guys came in, and she's asking little questions about, the kind of funny characters in his story and stuff like that.
Um, I'm so sorry. I hate to interrupt. But Arabelle, I know
Yeah,
that this is maybe too heavy a burden to put on a child, but have you seen anything of the future of this town?
you'll see Van Richten gets up and says, "Kalatari, I think it would be too much of a burden."
Calatar's gonna look at him for a second. She's gonna kind of wave her hand and say, as I well know, sometimes when you're in tough times, you must grow up quickly. If it is too tough for her, let her speak her own mind.
But you've seen that she's passing out as of late. She at least never
I'm
used
not
to do
asking
that.
her to have a new vision. I'm just asking if she's already had one.
Very well. And he you know, minds himself and looks away, kind of scratches at his neck, and she says, "I sometimes I have a reoccurring vision, and I had it some nights ago, and I had it last night again. A fire, a great fire. Though I wasn't sure if it was being held up by a pillar or by an arm. I'm not sure. I'm sorry."
No, of course. Thank you for this information. Um, and I'm gonna also just because never mind. It's leaving. I'm just gonna tell you thank you.
Mhm.
I wonder if this is in relation to the festival that the Baron is throwing. He did have quite a collection of kindling in his manor, as if or as he mentioned, he was trying to create a giant fire. It could be related.
Yeah, but I almost wonder if there's two futures at this point. One where it is a fire, and one where it's a fire that consumes the town.
Yeah, that is a very good question. And from what we heard of the multi-for cell, it seems like there's two paths that this could take.
Well, I will say, just my opinion on the leadership. I always believe that the hope is with the youth. And I think the two best to lead this town would be Victor and Stella if she were not ill.
Yeah, I noticed while we were in the manor, Victor was holding a book. I didn't get I was only able to glance at the title, but I think if I remember correctly, it was Ethereal Entities, Denizens of an Unseen Realm, and the author was Mikhail, that's kind of like rolling his head back and forth, like trying to remember. I think Morden Kanan, if I remember in my studies, I don't know, I don't remember much, but I think he was a powerful archmage who lived a long time ago. Seems like what he has is like he seems like whatever he's it seems that the book is some sort of tome, like a magic tome. I wonder if that could be what happened to Stella.
Well, it's interesting too. He's talking about spirits. He speaks as though she's dead, yet she's obviously not. So, um, I wonder if something happened to separate part of her spirit. I mean, I don't know if that's even possible, but could I do like an Arcana or a history check to see if I would know if that's something that's possible?
Yeah, do so with advantage because you're a Kalashtar.
Okay, that's gonna be. Did you want history or Arcana? I guess it doesn't matter. I think
Yeah, you can
yeah,
do
plus
whatever.
0 to both.
Yeah, you can do
Okay,
whatever.
it's a 17. It's plus 0, so it doesn't matter.
Sure. Um, from your like lineage, right? As far as you know that spirits in the body and stuff like that can be temperamental. I mean, you yourself have technically two in you right now, right?
Mhm.
Does
Right.
that mean you're thinking to yourself, does that mean that maybe, if one can exist, if two can exist, maybe can a body continue existing without it? And you reach into the back of your mind of maybe hearing of, stories and stuff like that of, families who, or, among like the Kalashtar and stuff like that. Like if they could get rid of that soul, some people feel like they're um, like it's not their own, and it is a bad thing to think about. But at the end of it all, you come to think that if there is something, then it's then it has to be magical. It has to be that, or even further, maybe it's a curse.
Okay, I would relay that information to everybody. That it with magic, it might be possible to separate the spirit from the body, and or it could be a curse. But either way, I think something very bad happened in that house.
Yeah, well, an experienced practitioner of magic, maybe he tried playing around with some magic that he shouldn't have. Like, from what I know of, or from the brief interaction we had with Victor, of course, I don't know him that well. I am pure speculation. I'm sure it was truly an accident, but it seems like he was maybe playing with magic that he shouldn't have, and maybe that's what happened as a result. Well, I guess, anywho, we also have we have the matters to discuss about what to do concerning the burgomaster.
Indeed. I do. I wish to get rid of the burgomaster. I don't know if killing Isaac is the only way to do that. Um, Nor do I know if I necessarily want someone who has been shut in a room their whole life that doesn't know the people to be the next baroness.
When it comes to that, I actually considered. I hadn't even thought Victor and Stella. I was thinking possibly Irina.
Oh, Irina would also be a good pick.
But for that to happen, I also had questions about this. Is what if we took out both houses?
The question then would become the order. Would
I think they'd have to be almost.
simultaneous?
I think they'd have to be close at least. I think they'd have to be very. I think they have to be right in a row.
Yeah.
We could potentially get Isaac's head, possibly, and then take it to her and use that time when her guard is down to do something. Um, you know,
Um, there's also the possibility of changing allegiances. I could potentially send a familiar to send a message to Victor, see if he could meet with us, possibly become an ally on our team for this endeavor. We can't get Stella, obviously she's sick, but we might be able to gather a few so that we're not on our own.
um, if we do both houses, we have to worry about Ernst. As she said, he's the alley cat.
Yes, then it seems that Lady Wachter does have quite a few alliances or like friends in many places, so we would have to contend with that.
Um, I was also, I would, kind of what you just said. Also, Galatari had been thinking about, if you could help out Victor with something, or get him on our side, that he could tell us what happened to Stella and what we can fix, and what the problem was. And
The other option, if we're worried about spies, is I just wild shape and go out as an animal to meet with him, but then we would be separated.
in this fight, knowing that Isaac has a bounty on Irina's head, would she be joining us in the fight, or could we also almost bait her if we're going to be fighting Isaac to get his guard down?
As far as Irina, I think that we should let her decide what her role is.
For sure. I just was wondering. I just
Can I like peek out and see if she's still out in the hall?
She is not out in the hall.
because I was even thinking, if
Shoot.
she's if it's
Um,
a good idea, we could use her, get the money. Now we have the money to use later, and then take care of Isaac right there.
Calatari is gonna go, Irina was deeply upset about something that I spoke with her about, and she said she was going to rejoin us in a moment, but she is no longer out in the hall. I hate to pause this conversation, but I think I need to look for her quickly. And I'm gonna go out in the hall and see if I can figure out which way she went.
Do you want us to come with you, or should we wait here?
Um, Perhaps it's best if you come with me. Or I'll see if I can track her within the church, and if I cannot, then I can come back.
Okay, we'll be waiting here if you can't find her within the church.
Because every decision we make has to be quick, so we need to know what she can help us with or not help us with.
Yeah, I'm just gonna look. I guess see if I see any sign of like tracks where she walked. If there's any tracks
Yeah,
in the dust. I don't know.
and like the stone pebble, like in the stone paved like kind of stairs or whatever and all that, you're not gonna be able to see tracks so well. Um, but you move up the stairs, right? You're just going up the circle, this little spiral
Yeah.
stair. Um, and you break up all the way up to the top, you see that the church isn't currently being super inhabited right now, only like so few people in between. Um, uh, but you see Marigold sitting at the chairs, uh, kind of like looking at her bracelet, almost kind of at the front row, where the where like she's looking towards kind of like the front right, where the Morning Lord symbols is and stuff like that. And behind her, almost in her silhouette, a man gets up, and you see this man is Ernst. And he stands up, he looks your way, and he pulls out a cigarette and just starts to walk outside the door. Puts it in his mouth, kind of puts his hands in his pockets, and starts to walk away.
Um, and he's headed outside.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to let him go, but I'm gonna speak in Irina's head and just ask her if she had muttered anything aloud while she's been up here or
And she
spoken
like
to Ernst.
looks around and then finally catches eyes with you and says, "What do you mean muttered?"
Oh, it seems we had a visitor. Um, did you pray aloud for guidance? Anything that he might have heard?
Um, who? And she like looks around like, I don't think anybody was near me.
There's spies, unfortunately, that seem to be following us.
We can't have a single moment to ourselves. And she says, "No, I was alone. I, I don't think I was muttering out loud. No." Just
I didn't
thinking. Kind of
interrupt
hard.
your piece. I just wanted to make sure that you were safe. And, not thinking of going out on your own or anything. And just kind of chuckle. If he's outside, she'll start speaking out loud too.
You'll start what?
Speaking out loud instead of in her head. If he
Yeah,
fully
okay.
went outside.
Yeah. And she says, "No, I just need some time. I should be fine."
Okay. Um. I'm trying to think of what I can do. I don't want to leave her alone, but I don't want to intrude. I'm going to just briefly go halfway down the stairs and just kind of whisper really loud that we have been followed by Ernst, and that I need to watch Irina just to make sure she's safe, and then I'll be back for the conversation so that they can keep talking, but they know why I haven't come back.
Okay.
And then I'm just gonna give her space so she can do what she needs to do, but then just make sure he's not coming back in the church, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you don't really you don't see him at all. Like after he walked out the doors, he'd have to walk back into through those big doors all the way in the back.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. All right. Mikhail and Ramoth.
Um, so I would kind of bring up also that Lady Wachter effectively did say that she would work with Strahd. So we've heard
You see
we've
Van
heard
Richten kind of get up and say, "Hold on, sorry, Arabelle." And she said what?
she said that she would be she said that Strahd was a demon that's better the demon that you know than the one that you don't. I think was basically her words. Um, so it sounds to me like she thinks that she can work with Strahd to make this town like she can work with keeping Strahd away to keep this town a better place. So, you know, as far as the burgomaster goes, we've heard the stories of what can happen to the towns if you go against Strahd and Rahadin, but you know, is he actually doing it to protect the people? Is he just misguided? Maybe he saw something that scared him so badly that this is how he reacted. The story with the father and Isaac is strange, but I'm playing devil's advocate, just trying to think about this. Do we want to take out both? Do we want to take out one or the other? Do we not want to take out either?
What the Lady Wachter says probably isn't just fallacy to get you all to do her bidding. I've obviously been in this town for maybe at least a couple more days before you all, but I've seen his cruelty with my own eyes. Now,
We've seen the cruelty from him as well, but
if she seeks to appease Strahd, then maybe that's... Damn it. You think you see everything, you know, all this life. Hunting monsters. Now you have to deal with politics of it all. It's not as simple when they're lords or kings.
this is a very delicate situation.
Also, I know you've been around Barovia, I presume, a long time. During our conversation with Lady Wachter, she made mention of some kind of
Hello?
Some kind of... And then you cut out.
oh, she told of some sort of legend, like in her youth, of some sort of blade that shone with the light of the sun. Are you familiar with this legend? It's caught my eye, or it caught my interest when we were talking to her.
Yeah. It's something I've been looking for. See, in my fight with Strahd, I felt a strength I have not felt before. Something like that. A man with silver could not destroy. A stake to the heart, even. You look around Barovia. Other than the happiness or, the jovialness and all that, what is truly missing from here? The sun. A vampire's truest weakness. Through my time around here, I have heard of snickerings of this and eavesdropping on the Vistana, hearing some of their stories, chasing leads that lead to nothing, people trying to peddle potions and pastries that allow you to see anything you want. But I'm looking for the sword. The Vistani call it the Sun Sword. Says it captures light. That with it, Barovia can see the sun once more. Of course, I'm brutal in my nature and archaic in my ways. If it's something that might stab Strahd, that cause a wound that he couldn't simply heal from, then I think that's a weapon that, if we can find any leads on, that might change the tide.
What about Mikhail? What was the name of the town that she mentioned?
Oh, Perez, I believe.
What do you know of that place?
Hmm. It's a land sunken. It's a skeletal land. Not much there.
By Strahd?
That I do not know. It was that way once I arrived. Seems
She
like it's
said
been that
that-
way for a long time.
Yes, Lady Wachter mentioned that the leader of that town was defying Strahd,
Mm.
similar as the Baron is now. And she says that if Rahadin comes and sees the disrespect tomorrow, that the same thing could happen to this town. So I try to take what she said with a grain of salt, but we can't say if it's true or not.
Well, it's already happened. You all came from the village of Barovia, correct?
Yes.
There. The first example, or at least a true lived example, of what standing against Strahd gives you. You look at this town, you see they can handle themselves maybe with silver, but with the undead, with numerous hordes of undead, who would be the first to go? The refugees, lining the wall like some sort of sick defense. This town's in grave danger. The
So
people
should
outside of
we-
it, too.
Should we try to appease Strahd then to stave off an attack and get rid of the Baron before Rahadin arrives?
Rahadin. Damn it. He's coming.
He'll be here noon tomorrow.
But Lady
Shit.
Wachter said around noon.
Shit. For all we know, he could be looking for the girl. He says, we gotta think. We keep saying the devil you know, right? The devil you know, right? But what about the devil that they don't know about? You see, maybe the Wachter family, maybe they don't know what we want to do at the end of it all. They don't know about me. They don't know about the girl, right?
Right.
And I assume you didn't tell them about Irina.
No.
He was with
Right.
us. It was just as Marigold.
So, it seems like we kept our cards close to our chest, and we can play this whichever way. It's important not to get stagnant, or rather paralyzed with it, though. If we know the Baron needs to go, in whichever way, we know that Isaac won't stop chasing your friend Irina around, then get rid of him. That could earn some favor. Then after, bearing Rahadin's visit, you can see what you need to do with Lady Wachter.
And so allow her to get into power and then take care of her once the threat has passed.
If need be, Ramath. You're a man of action. You could see if it's needed. But for now, if we get this town in some sort of manner of safety, then I can
Sorry.
continue my search. Then I cannot be so worried about Arabelle, and I can continue my search for the for the keepers of the feather. Maybe then they'll come out of hiding. Maybe there's some sort of slip up, and I can see if I can find us some more allies. Or maybe you could help.
Yes, I mean, it sounds like the best way to keep things as smooth as possible for as long as possible is to take care of Isaac and hope that's enough to scare the Baron away when he has no more protection.
That's right. Uh, then, we might have. But speaking of which, did you get access to his library?
We did.
We did visit them earlier today.
And did you find anything interesting?
We did. Do you know of the Baron's stepson, Victor?
Stepson, you say? Well, I knew he had a son, but that is new information, yes.
Yes, he was. We didn't get a chance to look at it as he was clutching it fairly tightly to his chest. But I believe he was carrying a book that actually had a similar symbol to the one that was on the signet ring. The book was titled, if I remember correctly, Ethereal Entities, Denizens
Denizens
of
of the Unseen.
by Morden Kanan,
Morden
I
Canaan.
remember.
Yes.
You're
Yes,
familiar with this book.
I've studied the book, yes. There's some sort of information in there regarding, all sorts of things. Information of hags, face spiders, um, creatures that can find themselves in the ethereal world. And
Would it happen to have anything about a spirit being splitted from a still living body?
perhaps, but something like that would require magic that is uh, damn near curse bound. I mean, magic that you would need to acquire from a hag. Not a simple mortal can conjure something like that up.
So sounds like not easy magic to come by.
No. You seems like you'd have to make a deal with something to get something like that done. No, a deal with a hag is a death wish.
Victor said that this book has been in his family for a while now.
Hmm. Well, that is interesting, but will that help with our search for, I mean, means to kill Strahd? I'm thinking, was there any books regarding his older history? Um, pre-Barovian, maybe.
Yeah, if I remember, I think that those books were more in, or the Baron's were private collection that unfortunately we did not get the chance to see.
Damn it. Well, there's another spoil of whatever this war is. Something that we could take a look at.
Yeah, I don't know if we would get another opportunity to search for these books, but generally, where we had access. There was like history of the area, but unfortunately, pre-Barovian was very limited.
Right. Well, I'll support whatever you all choose, as long as Arabelle remains safe. But
No,
I
of
think
course,
you all
but
know the. I think you all know that if this town is struck with something by the likes of the village of Barovia, or even the multiversal, then that would be the worst outcome.
yes, it's definitely something that I've been rolling over my head because if we get the the Baron and Isaac has enacted travesties on the people of this town, but it, these underhanded political machinations definitely is. I'm definitely not a well versed practitioner, and I am not a political assassin.
Um, while they're having this conversation, because I'm upstairs, I just like after giving her like 5-10 minutes, I want to go over to Marigold, and just be like, I know that this is a hard decision, um, but I don't believe we have much more time to spare. Our allies right now are making plans without us. Um,
She's, she says you're right. Yeah, and she like gets up, puts on a bracelet.
let's go lend our voices to their discussion, and like I'll take her downstairs
Cool. All
so
right,
that
yeah.
we join them.
Calatari and them break in, and you'll see Marigold say, "So, what's your plan?"
Well, we don't have it ironed out yet. We'd have to talk with Lady Wachter's man to find out exactly what we're going to do with Isaac, but we seem to think that it might be best to get the burgomaster out of power, at least until Rahadin leaves, and then considering also possibly taking, wait, what did I say? Did I say that right? We're going to take Isaac out
Yeah.
until Rahadin's gone, and then we're going to consider if we need to taking out Lady Wachter also.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I just would like to say that I would like to see if we can get Victor on board and possibly gain access to his book. Whether that involves me wild shaping to meet him or sending a familiar, something inconspicuous. I do believe we're being watched. Um, Perhaps send Elthana invisibly. I know she's not here, but she has invisibility to go talk with him.
Speaking of Victor, we were just discussing the books earlier, the ones that we were looking for on pre-Barovian history, and unfortunately were seemed to be in the Baron's private collection, so we did not get access to them. Perhaps if you do decide to meet with Victor, that might be another way to get access to the books.
Hmm.
So I think our first thing we need to do is get word to Lady Wachter that we have decided that we want to take out Isaac, and then that'll give us time to have you talk to Victor
Agreed. Also, I believe Ernst is watching our church. So if you were to go out and meet with him and walk with him back, or like walk with him somewhere, that would give me a distraction to wild shape out and go talk with him, or send a familiar with a note to go talk to him, and without him, you know,
Okay, that's a good idea.
without him taking note of it. And as far as Isaac, and I'm gonna look at Irina, um, I think maybe we could try and reason with him first. And if that doesn't work, then poison. Come off as friendly, at least in the beginning. I mean, we would have to do anyway to slip him poison in his wine, but
Reason with him. He squished a woman's head like a grape.
making eyes and Irina subtly.
What about potentially taking Irina to get the bounty and using that as a way to throw him off a little bit?
I don't want to be. I don't want to be traded out like that.
Okay. That was entirely up to you. I just wanted to throw it out there. That was a possibility.
Guess I also wouldn't feel good about using any of my companions as bait. Yeah.
It
She
seems like
says,
we
"Okay."
have a
She
plan
goes,
at least for the next step.
"But I'm game for whatever you all would want."
Would you come
If-
with us at all to take care of this?
I think it's only fitting that I overcome this with some friends by my side. If my brother has Kalatari has explained to me has
Wait, what?
Wait, brother.
it's okay, Kalatari. And she like puts her hand out with her wrist, and you guys see the lights form, and you show the mother with two children, and she says, "I wasn't sure of it at first when I came to town, and sometimes I caught glances of Isaac, and he caught glances of me. But I believe in the story that Lady Wachter told that he may be my brother, my biological brother, from obviously a long, long time ago. His infatuation with me is more of an obsession. I think it's driven him mad. And given his upbringing here, I don't believe he's something that I don't believe that we can bring him back. But during the battle, if there is one, or if he if we find a way to do it easier, if you would allow me maybe to just speak to him for a moment, to just let him know that he wasn't wrong. Then maybe that could offer him some sort of reprieve with how bleak his life has been.
Yeah, I don't see why not.
The choice is obviously ultimately up to you. After all these years, maybe he is. I just hope that I do not know what his intentions are, whether the Krays search for a long lost relative or one of more nefarious or aims to harm you. But ultimately, the choice is yours, and if you must confront him, then you have our support.
Okay. Then I'm with you all. Sword and all.
Well, then let's get to our next tasks. You all find speaking with Ernst while I sneak out to speak with Victor. I think I still have time before where I can find him alone in the attic before it gets blocked up.
Yeah. Also, don't forget to mention if you do manage to speak with him, maybe manage the burgomaster's talks of boarding up the attic. If he could possibly be an ally, that might help drive him to do it.
Of course. And I'll get ready to go. I will let everyone know I have 3 hours in wild shape before I'll be forced out, and so I will need to get there, speak with him, and back before I unwild shape to avoid any suspicion.
Did you
Okay.
see where Ernst was?
He walked out the front doors.
So I guess
Awesome.
that's the plan.
And
Let's do it.
Sounds like it.
Better together.
ooh, new music. Oh, the playing music.
All right. You guys all walk outside, get to the church, see Father Lucian just talking to some people, grieving mother, grieving father, and you have the front door available to you. Who's going that way?
Not me
Yeah.
yet. I'm waiting until they go outside. So
Yeah,
I'm waiting inside.
I'll head out that way.
You said outside?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
front
who's
door.
headed outside the front door?
Yeah, maybe.
Right on. You step outside, and you see a man very similar to um, Lady Wachter's servants outside shopping amongst the vegetables.
Yeah, Mikhail would just kind of like walk up and like kind of like at like a diagonal like to the one of the people that like look like they belong to like the Wachter household. Like kind of like walk up like a diagonal and to the side, and kind of just like um, from Lady Wachter's, correct?
Yes, yes. Are you ready?
We still need to do some preparations, but yes, we should be ready shortly.
Oh,
We just
very
need
well.
to know what the where we can find him.
Very well. Absolutely. Um, allow me. Uh, I'm gonna be walking over to the house a bit. Where are you? Where will you be located?
I suppose we'll be here at the church then.
Okay, certainly. I'll go head off now. And you see them tie up their little bag. uh, well, we'll send word shortly.
Have you seen Ernst around? We wanted to speak to him as well.
He says, Ernst, I just came out to get some vegetables. I have not, actually. It's hard to keep track of him. But he could be at our house.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, sure. And he starts to walk away.
I would probably want to let Kalatari know that, and then if she thinks she can get out, we'd say we don't see him around, right?
Well, you'd have to make a check. Just kidding.
I mean, yeah. I mean, the guy just tell her that.
He's a
He
liar.
You said what?
Do we see Ernst anywhere?
Yeah, like a quick like scan around. See
Yeah,
if we
yeah,
can
sure.
like catch inside of it.
Yeah. Give me a perception check.
Perception. Okay.
Not 20, not 20.
How about a not nat 20?
A dirty 20.
The dirty side.
Dirty
Oh.
20.
How about a dirty 20?
Two dirty 20s.
2 dirty 20s. Very, very cool. You do not see Ernst around here.
Fucker. All right. Well, I guess I'm risking it. I'm gonna wild shape into my little ermine instead of summoning it, just because I think, or maybe I'll ask these guys first, like before, if they've come in to tell me they can't find him. I'm gonna say, do you think it's better to leave my body here and send? Oh, actually, I think there's a range. I think I have to wild shape. I'll wild shape into an ermine and get to run in. I think is there like an open window I could crawl out of instead of leaving the front door?
Do you have Omen?
Oh, I do. I'll leave him with Arabelle.
Okay. Omen keeps Omens with Arabelle. And then... Cool, you said what?
Is there like an open window I could, or like a window that's low enough that these guys could open for me, so I don't have to go out the front door? So I don't have to scurry out the front door.
You find like a small, like little, like there's like a little bathroom area that has like a small little window that you have to like twist open. It doesn't open all the way, but an ermine could probably get through that.
Okay, then yeah, I'd speak in these guys' minds, ask them to open it up for me a little bit so I could like squeeze out and
Yeah, they
run
boost
towards Victor.
Awesome. Your white coat getting all dirty.
Yeah, it's camouflage.
Awesome. Okay, cool. Let's go there.
Let's go there. Not at all intimidating.
Let's go to the mall. Where the fuck is this place? There it is.
Sorry, I couldn't remember what the last word of it was, and I just did. So now it's really delayed, but I got there.
Awesome. Great. You have an ermine.
I'm an ermine. I'm adorable and tiny and can climb things.
Alright, yeah, let me give you the map right here. Do 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 do. There's not this many
If
goals.
Grim quit, there would only be two of us that even knows Wit anymore.
Wit,
Let
my
him
best
go.
friend.
Let him
No,
go.
he's my best friend. I won't let him go.
Alright, bring your little ermine ass over here.
Okay, let me grab him. Do. It's a white fox, not an ermine. They don't have ermine pieces.
Alright.
Okay.
Alright.
I'd probably
Make it
come
here.
from like the bushes, not the front path. Probably come
Okay,
from like
cool.
over there.
Cool. There's like a little fence nearby, so ermines can get through little fences like that.
Yeah.
All right. Let's do it. All right. What's your ermine's movement?
My goal is to get up on the like scurry along the the wall and the ledges and stuff. Ermines can climb, but I'd assume they need like vines or something. To see if I can find an open window to the attic.
Okay. You're looking up at the here. You can see that there are windows in the front ends of the of the Burgomaster's mansion, like up here, right? A little bit deeper in. But from here, you could tell they're like closed.
But there's none up top, or I can't see that high.
So yeah, you can see the attic windows, but you can tell that the attic windows are closed. The ones that are like over here, you can see that they're closed. If you were to look down the side over here, you're not going to see any windows for the attic.
Okay, for the attic.
There
Okay.
are second floor and first floor windows.
Are they shuttered closed, or like the window itself is just closed?
Window itself is closed. It's like one of those like cross type of things.
Like, so it
Circles
can't
with a
open.
cross in it. Yeah.
Okay. Well, then we're gonna have to do this old-fashioned sneak way, I guess. I know that the dogs were in the back last time. That's been hours. I don't know where they are. Can I do a perception check to see if I can hear them, like barking?
You can do a perception check. Yes.
Ooh, that's good. 18.
18. Awesome. Yeah, you do not hear any barking around here.
Okay. I will try and sneak.
Yeah,
I
let's
think I
use
want
your
to go.
let's use your movement for your mind.
Okay. It's 30 feet. So we're going to go 5, 10, 15. Are these guys facing forward or back?
Yeah, they're headed this way.
Okay. I don't know if I can get the front door. I think I have to go to the back door. So that's 15, 20, 25, 30.
Okay, cool.
Trying to hide it in amongst like the bushes and thorns that are in here
Cool.
as I
Give me
scurry along.
give me a stealth check.
Okay, that was good. The Ermine has good stealth. It's because I get their stats when I'm wild shaped. Sorry, I'm pulling up their stealth because I can't remember it exactly. I just know it's good. Oh, +6. Perfect. That's 18.
Awesome.
Just walks right up on it.
The guards walk right past you. It's
Sweet.
almost not recognizing you.
Okay,
And then
keep
go
scrolling.
ahead with your
5,
movement.
10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
Right on. You're good. Go ahead.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
Awesome. Give me a perception check.
15.
Awesome. On a 15, you hear a woman kind of like arguing with something, and you hear her say, "Get out of me, tomatoes! Get out of here!" And you hear like some like tails wagging and like jaws kind of chomping.
Dogs. Is there windows to the bottom floor down here that might be open, or are they all closed?
There are windows that are open over here. You have a window that is right here that leads into the like kitchen prep area.
Yeah, I'm a
Not the
backtrack
kitchen
then
prep area,
and-
but like where the servants were preparing stuff.
Yeah. Then I'm a backtrack and sneak in through that window if it's open.
Awesome.
So that was 10 of my movement to get in the window.
Cool. Yeah, you're able to like scurry up to that window, and you're able to see inside, and you see that it is you see it's Tereska, the lady who's been helping, and you see that she's like preparing stuff, like she's moving stuff that these like other women were kind of like touching and moving around, and she's like, it's a bit of a mess. What do you want to do?
Sneak in.
All right, cool. Drop a stealth.
Okay, that's 15.
Cool. You're in. You're in like Flint. You drop down. Just looks to the left and right, and then just continues like, talking about the stuff, and she's like moving stuff around. All right. What else?
Okay, so I know the dogs are in the back. I know this is a door I can go through because it's swingy, so I'm gonna go through the swingy door.
Awesome. You get through the swingy door, and here you see the hind legs of a dog standing up on the kitchen, eating at some carrots.
That's dogs. Okay, I'm not going this. Sorry, back up. This is like a stealth mission in a video game, and I hate this. There's still a crack in this door, right? Like all the doors I could get through before, I could still get through, or are some of them fully closed?
This one you can get through.
Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna go out this way then, because I'm not risking the dogs. They'll smell me.
All right, awesome. In this one, you'll see the Baroness Lydia talking to some of the guards about some of the sticks. You got to pick up the small ones that have the points because our guests are going to be walking through, and you can tell they're distracted right now, so you have free reign of this hallway. You can tell
Perfect. All right,
that
run.
that if the sticks get inside the boots or inside the shoes, stuff like that, then it's going to hurt us. So you have to pick them up. And the guards like saying, "Yes, Baroness. Yes, Baroness." All right, go ahead.
25, 30 is my movement there.
Awesome. You make it, and you see the front door. Empty. Just bundles of 6.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. We're going upstairs.
Yay.
Upstairs.
Here you go.
Upstairs. Oh, is it up? Oh, there it is. Move. Okay, so that's right there. 30.
All right, go ahead.
5. 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
Awesome. Are you going to be rounding that corner?
Yeah, my 30 stopped here, but yeah, that's where
All
I'm
right,
going
cool.
next.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. 5, 10.
Awesome. You're free and clear. As you
15,
get here, give me a
20.
perception check.
Oh, damn it. 16?
Awesome. On
pretty
a
good.
16, you hear moans. You could tell that they're moans of pain.
Okay. I'm assuming it's that guy down the hall. I hope it's that guy down the hall. Okay. 5, 10, 15.
As you get there, you hear, "Shut up. Shut up. You should have been happy. If you were happy, then I'd be happy and I wouldn't have to do this."
Wait. I hate him so much. 25, 30.
All right. You're good. Go ahead.
5, 10. Are these doors open now that we opened them, or has somebody come back and closed them?
People have closed them.
I don't see a way around it. I may have done wild shape. Do I have any other tricks up my sleeve? I mean, not as a ermine. Ooh, could I try, since I can still talk to people while I'm wild shape, can I try telekinetically shoving while I'm wild shape? Because it's not a spell.
Telekinetically shoving while you're in a wild shape.
With my mind, it's like telekinesis, but shoving.
It doesn't do damage.
No. It's
Okay.
telekinetic 30
Yeah,
feet.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm just gonna try and telekinetically shove the door. So it's something I can see within 30 feet. It's a strength saving throw. I don't know how that would work with the door. Do you want me to just like roll strength with it or something?
Um. Uh. Yeah, you could roll strength. Yeah.
I rolled a 19. That's without modifiers.
Cool. Awesome. Yeah, the door swings open. It gets knocked off its hinges. Not
Okay,
knocked
that,
off its hinges, but it gets like knocked off
like,
like the little lock. Not the lock thing, but the little thing that keeps it in its place.
yeah.
It moves open.
Okay, cool. Then I go in here.
Awesome. You get in here and you see the little string up above, just dangling a bit down.
Okay, I'm gonna jump on here,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'm gonna try and jump on the rope and see if like I can get it to come down.
Cool. Yeah. Give me an athletics or acrobatics on your animal.
Okay. Oh, I rolled bad. Hold on, I gotta use my inspiration because this is funny if this works. And I didn't have to use it so far, so I rolled a 3, so I'm re-rolling it. Okay, that's better. What is it? Dex plus 3. So that's gonna be a 16.
Cool. Yeah. You grab it. You grab onto the rope, and you see like after like holding your weight on there for a while, maybe like wiggling around, like a dog like holding onto a chew toy. You're able to get the stair thing to kind of like give way a bit. Now, the only one part of it folds out. So, what do you do?
I just want to crawl up the rope and like try and like almost like jump in it before it tries to start to close again.
Okay, awesome. Awesome. So, yeah, you get back onto the dresser. Is that what you're doing, or you're just
Oh
on the
no,
rope?
I was just gonna crawl up the rope.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see what you mean. I see what you mean. Okay, cool. Right on. Yeah, I think you can do that as little Ernie. Long old body, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. You sneak into it and you get up into the attic.
I'm out of inspiration, so everything else has to go good. Okay, I'm in the attic.
I was thinking it would almost been better if you're like, I use my inspiration, and then you get on there and he's like, yeah, you're not heavy enough to open it.
No, I would have been so sad. Okay, is this door? Can I squeeze through this door?
Yes. You're able to squeeze through. You squeeze through the door, and you hear as you squeeze through this door, you hear.
Yeah, I knew there was gonna be the dumb cat I had to deal with.
And we'll stop there for our session.
Ah, no! Not the cat. I'm not fighting a cat. Skeletal cat. Not like this.
Cool. Awesome. All right, good session, guys.
Just see the butt of my Ermine. That's where we start next week. Ermine butt.
Very, very, very cool. Awesome. Good session, guys.
Thank you.
Stealth missions. It's not literally felt